Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm wearing these glasses so I appear more trustworthy. But I can't really see out of them, so I better take them off. President Trump, the Australian Prime Minister, and leaders of nations all over the globe have addressed their people, and I thought right now would be a perfect opportunity to address mine. G'day, you good motherfuckers. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the video. Unless you're sick, then fuck off! Right now is a bad time for a lot of people. It's a scary time and it's an anxious time. We're left with a lot of questions and perhaps not so many answers. There's misinformation, there's fear-mongering, the media is reporting on the same thing every day, and people are becoming scared, they're worried, and they're panicking. The Melbourne Comedy Festival, cancelled. 24 of my shows, cancelled. The cricket, rugby league, played in front of no crowd. The UFC fights in front of nobody. An empty arena. The Olympics are in doubt. 2020 is very much on hold. And yet, people are still allowed to go to restaurants, shopping centres, no worries there apparently. And worse than all of those combined is nightclubs are still open where people just walk in there, find some hot bird or some hot bloke, do a big snot rocket in their mouth, and there's no spread of disease in there at all. Let's keep them open, dickheads. Everything we are now experiencing is absolutely unprecedented. We've had scares in recent years, SARS, the bird flu, the swine flu, but nothing like this has put a stop to society that I can remember. Perhaps 9/11 was the other one, but other than that, there is nothing that has put such a grave halt to our normal way of life. And with that fear and loss of control over one's life comes panic, comes fear, comes people wanting to have little wins. People are desperate for these small victories, and it's a part of the human psychology. When things are going wrong, we just need little things to tick off the list to make us feel better. And that's what you're seeing when people are fighting, lining up out the front of supermarkets like Woolies and Coles and Aldi at 6 in the morning just to get in there and take as much toilet paper as they can. Ladies and gentlemen, if this flu, if this virus, if COVID-19 becomes the worst thing in history, which it will not, in my humble glasses opinion, sorry, just so you trust me, which it will not, the first thing you're going to do is run out of food, and then you'll stop shitting and toilet paper will not fucking matter. Panic at this point is more dangerous perhaps than the virus itself. The good news is, however, you are far more likely to be fine than actually become quite ill. Unless, of course, you're quite elderly or you have an underlying health condition or you're just unlucky. If you're under the age of 50, your likelihood of dying from COVID-19, from the coronavirus, is only 0.4%. That is very, very low. Even up to the age of 80, it's only 8%. In those years encroaching on the big 8-0. Now that feels good being me, but sadly I have a lot of people in my close circle that are elderly, that have pre-existing health conditions, and that is why I'm fearful, and that is why I think a lot of people are fearful, because the people in our lives that perhaps can't look after themselves, or perhaps their health is deteriorating, this is a real threat to them. Also, did I mention that men are more likely to catch it than women? How sexist, coronavirus! How sexist! Most people who catch COVID-19, of the 150,000 people so far who have caught it, have mild to moderate to no symptoms at all. That's pretty good. That's pretty good odds. The main symptoms of COVID-19, shortness of breath, a bad temperature, and coughing. Just know this, however, although these numbers are a little bit scary and worrying, remember that last year 400 people in Australia died from the flu, influenza. Just remember that. People do die from these illnesses, and sometimes it's just being unlucky. That is the lottery of our lives that we lead. When we're brought into the world, down the track we could find the love of our life and on the same day be hit by a bus. That is the life that we live. We never know what's going to happen next. And that's why I think that we all should be prepared, but not freak out. And just to calm everybody down, wash your dirty fucking hands. Don't go around coughing on everyone, you dickhead. And, more importantly than anything else, don't eat bats! You fucking idiots! Things will change because of coronavirus. Economies will be affected and confidence will be challenged. But innovation will also come. During the quarantine, during one of the many plagues that ravaged England in the last 500 years, Shakespeare actually went through a period of quarantine. And during that period of quarantine, he wrote King Lear, one of his more popular pieces of writing, one of his favourite plays. And I think that goes to attest to the ability of humans to function under pressure, and this is where we're all going to be at some point in the next couple of months. But I would like to make a promise to all of you right now, that during this time where we're all stressed and freaking out and worried, that I will continue to produce 4 videos every single week for you guys. I want to be able to provide laughs, I want to be able to provide commentary and talk about things that are happening outside the world, including what's happening here, but also a lot of other things, trying to take your mind off what's happening, because that is what is so important here. And that's why entertainment always survives these horrible worldwide issues, tragedies, whatever you want to call it. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video, but I'd also like to add, which is more important than anything else, to people in China that think it's okay to eat bats. It's not okay to eat bats. How many diseases must you spread before you realise that eating bats is not a good move? Fucking hell, you're threatening the entire population of the world every 4 years. Fucking stop it! If you see a bat and you think it looks delicious, think to yourself, do I want to kill everybody? Fucking no. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace to the Middle East. Cough in your elbow. My dick stinks. And I'll see you all, unless we all die, which hopefully we won't, I'll see you all tomorrow night for another video. Toodaloo, au revoir, bye.